Good morning everyone children, welcome back to our English language class. So children, in my previous video I taught you about sentence. So when we talked about the sentence, what does this word sentence means? I am just making you revise about that. A sentence, a group of words joined together and which gives you a complete sense, that is called a sentence. It's just not that I am I am speaking a few words and that will make a sentence. No, a group of words that makes a complete sense in itself, that is called a sentence. Now, as I have told you earlier, there are a few things which we need to keep in mind when we talk about the sentence. First thing was that a sentence, it always starts with a capital letter, and the most important thing, it always ends with a full stop, an exclamation mark or a question mark. So now children, coming towards the today's topic is subject and predicate. What is the topic for today? Subject and predicate. All right. So this is our topic for today, subject and predicate. Now children, as I have already discussed about the sentence, a sentence, when we talk about the sentence, a sentence is always divided into two parts. All right. A sentence is divided into two parts. Which two parts? One part is called the subject and the other part is called the predicate. Alright. So a sentence, it is always divided into two parts. One part is called the subject and the other part, it is called the predicate. Now children, when we talk about the subject, now what is the subject? Now the subject, it always answers whom we are talking about and what we are talking about. Alright. And when we talk about the predicate, it contains a verb and it tells us what a subject is doing. Alright. Once again I am repeating. When we talk about the subject, what does the subject tells us? Now the subject is that part of the sentence, like you can say, it can be a person, it can be a thing about whom the sentence is being spoken. Alright. And when we talk about the predicate, we say what is being said about that subject. And the other thing is, it always contains a verb. Alright, in most of the sentences it contains a verb. Now, let's take an example. Let me rub this. Now children, if I say the maid servant is cleaning the floor. The maid servant is cleaning the floor. Now here, what we are talking about? Whom we are talking about? Here we are talking about the maid servant. So that means the maid servant will be the subject. Alright. And what we are talking about this maid servant? We are saying that she is cleaning the floor. What is the maid servant doing? The maid servant is cleaning the floor. So is cleaning the floor will become the predicate. And verb will be is cleaning. Alright. So the part of the sentence which tells us about the person or about the thing which is being spoken, alright, about which we are speaking or what is being spoken about, that part will be called the subject. And the other part of the sentence which I am talking about is the predicate. What is the predicate? Predicate is what is being said about the subject, like what the subject is doing or what we are telling about the subject. Alright, so let's take a few more examples. Now children, this was the first example. Now I am taking the next example. Our next example is, my father reads newspaper daily. Newspaper daily. Full stop. Now whom we are talking about? We are talking about my father. Alright. So my father is the subject over here. My father is the subject over here. Now what my father do? He reads newspaper daily. Reads is the verb over here. So what does the father do? He reads newspaper daily. It will be the predicate. So in this sentence, my father is the subject, reads newspaper daily is the predicate. Alright, I hope it is clear. Now moving on to the next sentence. Moving on to the third example. The basket is full of oranges. Now here we are saying the basket is full of oranges. Now about what we are talking about? We are talking about what? We are talking about the basket. So the basket here is the subject. Basket here is the subject. Now next what we are trying to tell about the basket? That the basket is full of oranges. Now is full of oranges is the predicate. Alright. Now moving on to the next example. The school has over 1,000 children. Now what we are talking about here? Here we are talking about the school. Here we are talking about the school. So the school is the subject. Now what we are talking about the school? We are saying that it has over 1,000 children. So has over 1,000 children will become a predicate. It will be the predicate. Alright. So I hope children with these examples the topic is clear. Now when we talk about your exams, in your exams you can be asked the questions related to subject and predicate like this. We can ask you to underline the subject, or we can ask you to underline the predicate. And the other way out is like we can ask you to fill in the subject, like the predicate will be given to you and you have to fill in the subject, or the subject will be given to you, you have to fill in the predicate. It will be like that. Alright. So I will tell you how we can give you the questions related to subject and predicate for your exams or for your tests. So let's begin. So the question will be, fill in the suitable subject or predicate. Alright. The first sentence is, the earth. The earth. So these two words are there and rest we need to fill in the blank. Now here what we are talking about? We are talking about the earth. So now we have to think something related to the earth so that we can make a full sentence. So the subject has been given to us. The earth, you can say, revolves around the sun. Around the sun. So we can add this predicate to make it a full sentence. The earth was given to us. We have filled in revolves around the sun. Alright, like this. Now supposing if we have been given my friends. This one is the easiest one. I hope everybody will be able to complete this sentence by adding a suitable predicate. My friends, you can say, are very helpful, to me. My friends are very smart. My friends are very helpful. Alright, anything you can write just to make it a full sentence. Alright. Now the third sentence, if I say dash falls on 15th August. Now we all know what falls on 15th August every year, children? Independence Day. Independence Day falls on 15th August every year. Alright. So this is how we will add the subject to make it a complete sentence. Alright. The predicate was given to us and we have to fill in the subject. Now moving on to the next sentence. Dash is built of white marble. Now, what clicks to your mind? What is built of white marble? The Taj Mahal, isn't it? The Taj Mahal is built of white marble. So the predicate was given to us and we have filled in the subject. So this is the way you have to do in your exams. Alright, it will be very simple. There is nothing to be scared of, like you will not be able to find out which part is the subject and which is the predicate. It's very, very simple. Once again I will be telling you the same thing. Now, from the very beginning, first thing, the sentence, it is always divided into two parts. One part is the subject and the other part is the predicate. When we talk about the subject, we talk about who, or you can say what we are talking about or whom we are talking about. And when we talk about the predicate, there is always a verb and it tells us what the subject is doing. Alright, so it becomes very, very easy. Alright, so once again, the subject is the person or a thing being spoken about and the predicate is what is being spoken, or you can say what is being said about the subject. So it becomes easy, isn't it? So all of you, please revise the exercises which are given there in your book. Alright, and we have done a few exercises in the notebooks also. So please revise it, and if you will have any problem, we can discuss that problem in the class later on. Alright. So till then, stay happy and stay positive.